Mr. Pranav Khaitan. He is the Senior Engineering Lead at Google USA. Mr. Pranav leads the Innovation Advisory Council of the World Food Program, the recipient of Nobel Peace Prize 2020, and alumnus of Stanford University, USA. He and his team have revolutionized humanitarian operations through AI technologies and provide aid during national disasters. So Mr. Khaitan has joined us. A very welcome to you, sir. Hello.
Yes,
Can
yes. Good morning, everyone. Can you see me and hear me clearly?
Thank you so much, sir, for joining. The stage is all yours, sir.
Perfect. Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. It's my privilege to be here. Um, Thanks to the management, faculty, and students of this esteemed institute for inviting me. Also, thanks to all the fellow panelists and speakers for the day. It's my privilege to be here with all of you. Um, it's yeah, I think so let me start my presentation. Yes,
David.
I hope my screen can be seen
So
clearly.
your screen is visible, sir.
Perfect. So today I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence and how we can use it for education, and also talk about some of the applications of artificial intelligence that we all are already seeing. Um, oops, sorry. Uh, yeah. So this is, yeah. So I'm going to broadly talk about four topics. My journey from Odisha. I actually spent a lot of time in Odisha, not far away from this from Burger and the amazing university that you will study in. And I'm after that I'm going to introduce artificial intelligence, and then talk about some of the applications of AI for humanity, and then also talk about how we can use it for education, which is the important topic for today. Um, so starting like a quick introduction about myself, I went to college, NIT Rourkela, I believe a few hours from where all of you are. I was fortunate to be a part of an amazing institute in an amazing state like Odisha. After that, I moved on to the United States, where I did my graduate studies at Stanford. As part of that, I got to work at Facebook, which has this very noble mission of connecting all humans across the planet through its many wonderful communication apps. Then I started working at Google as part of the founding artificial intelligence team there, where we developed some of the most sort of AI powered technologies that we use to help humanity at large through our products. And as part of that journey, I then developed this partnership with the United Nations around how can we use AI to benefit all of humanity, especially people who need it the most. And that's our endeavor as part of this partnership. That's been amazing, and I'm going to dive deeper into this topic in a little bit. So before I talk about AI for humanity and AI for education, let me give a very high level introduction about what artificial intelligence is, 30,000 feet about it. So artificial intelligence, very broadly speaking, is the science of making things smart, making machines smart. Machine learning is a subset of that, which is making machines learn by themselves. Instead of human beings having to teach machines, can we have machines learn by themselves? And deep learning is yet another recently evolved subset of machine learning, where we use very complex neural networks to learn things that weren't possible historically with simple models or simple algorithms. As I talked about algorithms, statistical models, neural nets, these are some of the techniques we used in artificial intelligence. Um, One recent technology that has sprung up over the last decade is neural networks that has gotten a lot of attention and that has revolutionized this space. It's a powerful class of ML models built with layers that are simple functions, but when put together, they become very powerful. It was developed many decades ago, but there was a sort of a AI winter, and it started getting popular more recently after 2008. So the way it works is, again, it's this stacked layer of neurons. It's very similar to how our brain thinks about. So in the example that we can see on the screen, we feed it an image of pixels and the problem here we are trying to solve is a cat or a dog. And the raw pixels are then fed into the next layer, which understand the pixels slightly better, which are then fed to the next layer, which understand it even better. And then the final layer is the output layer, which predicts whether or not it's a cat or a dog. And if the prediction is right, then we reward the network by reinforcing it. If it is not right, then we propagate the error back through the network such that the next time it sees an image like this, it does a better prediction going forward. So that's a little bit of a quick introduction about AI. Obviously, it's a huge field, a huge topic, and a lot can be said there. But I wanted to quickly give an intro in a couple of minutes. Next, I want to talk about the work that AI has done for humanity, including some of the work that I was fortunate to do as part of my project with Google and the United Nations. So the basic problem that we are trying to solve here is providing humanitarian aid and helping boost that through AI. So again, in the state of Orissa, we are no stranger to natural disasters, and we often see that when big humanitarian problems or big disasters hit, oftentimes entire populations are left without basic needs like food and shelter and medicine. And the problem here is how can we deploy it to them in a timely manner so that they can get it as quickly as possible with as less damage as possible. And during initial days, the workers are overwhelmed. So this problem needs to be automated in order to be solved at scale. And the thing that we identified was AI can accurately analyze when and where aid needs to be deployed and help boost the productivity of our amazing humanitarian workers. This was done in close partnership with the UN World Food Program, which is an incredible organization helping solve the hunger problem for the last several decades. And as was mentioned, this organization was awarded the 2020 Nobel Peace Prize, and we were very humbled to be getting this award and for the amazing work done over many years and decades. So yeah, so I'll talk about the very specific project that we did to automate the aid distribution, and this was using satellite imagery and feeding it into AI systems. So using satellite imagery, we can quickly survey a huge region across thousands of kilometers, and then we can feed it into neural networks, which I talked about earlier. Here, the example we see, so we feed a pre-disaster image and a post-disaster image, and together it tells us where the damage happened, and that's the task that we assign to the neural network to solve. So this is an example. We are seeing two images here. One is pre-disaster. The network is processing both of those. It's first identifying, it's segmenting the place into where all the buildings are. So here we see the yellow boxes are the buildings. And in the next step, it's identifying which buildings have changed after a disaster to see where the damage happened. And then we see all these red dots as where the damage has happened. So this is a powerful signal into identifying where which areas were hit the most. Here are a couple of concrete examples of how this technology is deployed. Here we see an image from Nepal and Puerto Rico, and we see how segmentation works for those images. Um, a second project that we did was the famine initiative, which was announced at the United Nations General Assembly by the Honorable Secretary General and the World Bank President themselves in 2018. And we can see the heads of all the UN agencies here announcing the project. The goal here was, again, we know famine is a big problem that's affecting our society at large. And how can we detect famines early and help mitigate its effects? And that's the project we undertook with the World Bank. And this has been, again, a very successful collaboration. This was all over the media in various ways. But I think the thing that really excites us is how can we help the people out there who need these technologies in a fast fashion during times of crisis. And that's what we set out to solve. Since then, we have been working on how can we apply this technology for India, and we have had discussions with the representatives of India. It's still in early stages, but I'm very optimistic that we can use this to benefit parts of our population that can very much benefit from these technologies. Next, I'm going to touch a little bit about how artificial intelligence can help the education sector. It's very early stages. I don't think we have yet explored much, and I think this is an area I would encourage future scientists and engineers and just education leaders more broadly to explore going forward. And so I think the ideas that I think where it's ripe for disruption are, one area is primary education. Obviously, we know that's the bedrock of everything we do. These are the future of our nation. Like if we can make primary education more accessible, that strengthens our nation more than pretty much anything else that we can do. And I think that's where we should start thinking. And the basic problem there is how can we ensure every child gets basic education? We have amazing faculty members across the state, across our country, but despite that, like a lot of students still don't have access to these amazing faculty members. And how can we make the teaching of these amazing faculty members more broadly accessible across the nation to every student, every child in need? And that's a problem that I think technology can help solve in a big way. The second problem that it can help solve is personalized education. I think all of us are aware that even though we have such amazing education leaders, because the scale is so high, it's not possible to give every student with personalized education in today's system, because obviously one teacher has to teach many dozens of students, and it's not practically feasible for them to have a customized curriculum for every different student. But if we are able to assist faculty members with AI, with computer science, then it is possible where AI can do more of the personalization, where given a particular curriculum, it can adapt that curriculum for the many different students. Some students might need more time with the mathematics part of the curriculum. Some other students might need more time with the language part of the curriculum. And if we can customize the curriculum to each student's needs and expertise, I think we can significantly strengthen education and the outcomes that it brings. Thinking more broadly and more specialized, obviously medicine is a big part of our education system, and it's also a fundamental building block for our society. And using technology, using artificial intelligence to do early detection and prevention, we've already seen major breakthroughs here, where we can make technologies like diabetic diagnosis more accessible and more affordable using artificial intelligence. And the important part I would stress here is I don't think for any of these things, AI or computer science or just technology in general will replace humans. Not definitely not in the foreseeable future, and probably not ever. I think what will happen is that it will help augment the productivity of humans. So we already have amazing doctors, and I think it will help the doctors reach out to much broader parts of our population. The next sector I would say is education is not something that should just stop at a particular point of your life. It's something that just goes on, right? So even on the field, agriculture continues to be a big part of our economy. How can we keep educating our farmers to maximize our crop yield? How can we keep them up to date with the latest technological advancements in their domain of agriculture, in their domain of crop yield? How can we get them more connected to increase their productivity, to get them the best market rate for their crops? um, and likewise on the job, right? Again, manufacturing is a big part, and I think if we are able to regularly train our workers, give them the vocational training they need on a regular basis, we can improve their productivity by a factor of 5 or even higher. And in addition to productivity, make them even happier, because obviously productive work, like not obviously but most often, productive workers are happier, and happy workers are more productive, especially with the right incentives and the right structure in place. So with that, I'll summarize. Technologies like artificial intelligence and computer science are a big asset already, and there are a lot of ideas already in place. And I think going forward, it can significantly help strengthen our education system and help prepare our youth, which is the future of our nation. And that's the area where we as a country should be investing more than probably more than anything else. With that, again, I would like to thank this amazing institution. Thank you, Deepak ji, for inviting me. Thank you to all the faculty members, all the esteemed participants today, and all the amazing students of this institute. I'm happy to take any questions or anything else. Hello.
শেয়ার করছি
big players like China and Japan. So, like introducing AI in this new education system or this new, national education system. So, how far do you think that India can, make a really, major place on penetrating this global market or AI market?
Yeah, thanks for the question, but the audio cut out in the middle. Can you please repeat it?
Hello.
Yes.
Uh, Sir, have you heard the question?
No, I did not hear the question. The audio disconnected a little bit in the middle.
So,
খালি ছেড়ে দাও খোলা না
Yeah, I'm still not able to hear if anything.
as we know that there are big players like China and Japan in AI and global market these days. So implementing or introducing AI in the new education system. So how far do you think that India, will make a major place or major step, introducing or placing its own identity in this market?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like, I'll answer that question in two parts. One is how much can we, like, why is India the leader, right? Or how can it be the leader? And I think India has many advantages over many other countries across the planet in terms of how we can use this technology. One, I think, our education system, with the sort of the centralization that has happened, if we are able to test our technology in one place, we can rapidly deploy it across large parts of our population to quickly benefit from it. And I think that gives India a huge advantage given the centralized coordination across our country. And the second part, second reason why I think we are at an advantage is because the thing about India is we are going through this. It's almost like a leapfrog stage where I think the current technology, as we have already seen in areas like e-commerce or healthcare, where we are almost leapfrogging like an entire generation worth of technologies, and we are able to benefit from it, like things like remote learning, for instance. Like a lot of rural areas do not have access to education, let alone personalized education. But now with technology and artificial intelligence, we can bring personalized education to even the most remote corners of our society. And I think India is uniquely positioned given the way our education system has been coordinated across the country, given that we have robust democratic institutions across the country. I think it's in a unique to not just test it itself, but then also then transmit its learnings back to the rest of the world, which I think will be amazing.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, due to lack of time, we can't take more questions now. Thank you for joining, sir, and thanks once again